Hey, what's up, guys? Cool Dude Z Kelly here with a little basic tutorial of Unreal Engine 5.6. We're going to do a pause menu. Very basic. It'll have options. If you click the quit, it'll drop down a menu, either quit to desktop, main menu. Desktop will close the game, main menu will open your main menu. And then wherever you are in the game, it will pause the game. You can click continue. It'll continue the game. Save and options I do not have in this tutorial. I do not have it built yet. Maybe in a future video. But if you do like what you see, definitely comment down below what you like more. If you have any questions, like, subscribe, and without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started? All right, I went ahead and fixed my sound, but all right. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is go into the folder input in your content drawer. So going from content, input, actions, and then we're going to just go ahead and click the jump, Control C, Control V, and then rename it to IA underscore pause, and that's all we got to do there. Then going back into the input folder, go to IMC underscore default here. This is basically your mapping context. It shows all the keys that you have assigned. We're going to go ahead and add a new one. So click the little plus here and type in pause, and then click the IA underscore pause, and then we're going to be able to make this to be any key. I personally like the P as in Paul and escape to be pause menus. You can do whatever you want, just escape, just P, just whatever. But we're going to go ahead and drop down and enter escape and go here, and under keyboard, go find P. And we're going to go ahead and save, and we can close as we are done with this now. Go back into your content folder, and I already have one. I actually tried to delete it, it wouldn't let me, but go ahead and right click and click new folder, type menus. I like to keep everything organized, so go ahead, once it's created, open it and do the same thing. Right click, new folder, pause menu, or whatever you want to call it. As you see, I have one for main menu. I haven't created it yet, but go ahead and open that pause menu folder. And we're going to go ahead and right click, and we're going to go to user interface, widget blueprint, user widget, and you can name this whatever you want. WPP is pretty common. I like PPW for blueprint widget, but we're going to underscore it, and we're going to call it pause menu, and we're going to go ahead and open that guy right up. And in here, we're going to start with just we're going to go through and get a canvas panel here. So under the search, go ahead and type in canvas, if I can spell. So then this is basically the overlay of the screen. We're going to, inside that canvas panel, add a little background blur here. Go ahead and drag that in, and go to the right where it says anchors, and on the bottom right is a full box. Just control shift and left click, which will then stretch it to the whole screen. And then on that background blur, let's go ahead and add a little bit of a strength to kind of make it more, blurry, so to speak. We're going to go ahead and do a 5, not a 0.5, a 5, which then makes it to where it's nice and blurred and it's focused on just the widget. So now we're going to go ahead and search in to add a size box here. Just drag and drop it, but then make sure you do put it in the canvas panel, not the background blur. So if it did what mine did, just left click, drag it, and put it in canvas panel. We're going to do the same thing here. Anchors to the center of the screen, control shift left click, which will then automatically pull it to the center. Let's go ahead and make this quite a bit bigger, and then we're going to have to do the anchors again to put it back in the center, just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and add a vertical box and a horizontal box. So the first one is going to be a vertical box here. A horizontal makes it left to right, vertical makes it up and down. So go ahead and drag and drop the vertical box down into the size box. And in that vertical box, we're going to add our buttons. So we're going to do the first button here, just drag and drop here. And then you can do Control C, Control V to add it more. But let's go ahead and start with a 25 padding, just to kind of give it a little space around each button. We're going to go ahead and change the size of the size box a little bit to make the buttons look better. Then we're gonna go ahead and put 15 padding. I don't know, it's a little big, but if you do, that's the difference of it. But going back to here, we're gonna just Control C, Control V. As you can see, they're a little too spaced, so let's go ahead and change the padding here. Let's put 15, which looks a little bit better. Add a text box. I don't think that's right. No, that's the editable. Let's get rid of it. I thought I did text box. Oh, that's under input. That's my fault. So click the text, drag it into the button, so that way it overlays on top of the button and says continue, quit, whatever else. And then now that we basically got our first button done, from here, all we have to really do is change the name of it so that when we go and set the variable, we're gonna be able to know what button we're doing. So we're gonna do btn_continue, if I can spell. So go ahead and do that. And now if you select the text within, you can change it to continue. And the first button is now done. Selecting the button, we can go ahead and Control C, Control V to add the rest of them. And the size box, we should probably make a little bit bigger so that we can have enough room for the desktop and main menu. And then we have to recenter it and then do the same thing for the title of all the buttons and text. So we're going to go ahead and do save game here and then change the text to say the same thing, which I can't spell again. And then the next button, same thing. We're going to do btn_options. And then make sure, okay, I did do that. And then the last one is quit. So btn_quit. And now we're going to change the text to do the same thing. So options. And here we're going to do quit. And there we go. So we got all 4 buttons done. Now we're going to go ahead and add the horizontal box here, which will house the desktop and main menu options. So make sure you drop it into the vertical box, not anything else. And in that vertical box, we're going to add 2 more buttons. Button. And then drag it down and drag the next one down. And if you click one and then hold shift, you can click the other one, which will allow you to click fill. And let's do on the first one, go ahead and add a right padding of say 15, just to kind of give it a little bit of a space. And then we have to add the text into both of them. So click, drag and drop the text boxes down into the buttons. And now we have to change what they say so we know which one's which. So we're going to start with main menu, and then we're going to do desktop. Now selecting the horizontal box here. You know what, let's go ahead and add a 5 padding to that. Selecting the horizontal box. Make sure you also go in and under search, type in visibility. And on this, go ahead and click collapse. So that way it doesn't show up automatically. That way we can create the effect of visible, not visible. And then now we're going to change the name of the buttons so that we can know which button's which. So then desktop and main menu, btn_, save and compile, and this one the menu is done. Now we just have to get the functionality to work within the menu itself. So going over to graph up in the top right, click graph, and then get rid of the event tick because we do not need that. Selecting the first button, it's very simple. Select the button, and on the bottom, click on clicked. And then this one is very easy. Just remove from parent. Remove from parent. And we will come back to this. That's just not complete yet, but once we're done, we also have to change it to game mode only and remove the cursor and unpause the game and all that, but we'll come back to that at the end. But the next one we're going to do is the quit. So click BTN quit. Actually, there's something I just thought of. Go ahead and compile and save it and go back to the designer. We forgot to do the variable for the horizontal box, so we're going to go ahead and rename it to like quit underscore options and then compile and save it again. Make sure it is a variable so that we can set the visibility. Now go to BTN quit, on clicked, quit options, drag in, get, and then off of that, we can actually get the visibility. So go ahead and set the visibility, and then let's add a flip flop. So basically, you click it once, it does one, click it another, does something else. And then on the first visibility, we're going to put an A so it's visible, and off we're going to go ahead and copy and paste it and put it in B. And on this, we're going to do collapsed, and then drag that in. That right there is done. We can comment it and put quit options or quit button, or quit button / options. Oops, whatever it is. And that is basically done. So every time you click the quit button, it will visible, and then if you click it again, it will hide it again. So that button is basically done. Now we're gonna go ahead and put add it to the actual player so that we can do it. Go ahead and dock and layout. I don't know why it's not letting me dock in the layout, but okay. Going into content drawer, click content, third person. I am using third person templates. If you're using first person, it will be in your first person folder. Go to third person, and then we're going to enter blueprints, and then open the third person character. And find a blank space somewhere within, and we're going to go ahead and right click and then add the pause action that we created earlier. So now it will be under the enhanced action events. Just click IA underscore paused, and off of triggered, we're going to go ahead and do create widget. Oh, I was trying to do blueprint, but no, it's create widget. And then go ahead and select the class and type in the pause menu that you just created. And then off of that, make sure we do add to viewport so that when we push P, it actually shows it to our screen. And then we're going to go ahead and look for the player controller. Don't worry about the owning player because it already does it. So we're going to go ahead and right click and type in get player controller. And off of that, we're going to set it to UI only. So set show mouse cursor, add that. And then off of that player controller again, we're going to do UI only. And then we're going to attach it and make it look a little nicer here. And go ahead and off of this, go ahead and drag the return value from the widget and put it into widget focus so it focuses on this widget only, and make it look a little nicer because I'm very particular about this. So give me a second here. Select all this and drag it down, and then move this over. There we go. So now that looks nice, and then the last step is we're going to set the game to be paused. So set game paused, click it, and it is done. So now we can go ahead and select it all, comment it, and make it pause menu. And this one is completely done. And go ahead and compile and save. All right, now that we're going back here, go ahead and compile and save this, and then we're going to go ahead and continue off of the continue button. So we're going to get the player controller again, and off of the player controller, we're going to get game mode only. So you can do game only. Sorry about the caps. Go ahead and add that in, and off the controller again, we're going to get the set mouse cursor. So that way we can get rid of the mouse cursor and not have it on the screen once we unpause the game. And then at the very end, we're going to set game pause to be false. That way it just does not have pause game. We can move this up and comment this to say continue button. Off of that, we're going to go ahead and compile and save one more time, and we can actually test this out now. And once we push P, it should open it up. We're paused, push continue, it puts you back in the game. And then if we push quit, it will also show the buttons. They don't work yet because we haven't done the functionality yet. Well, let's go ahead and get that done. So go ahead and close out of that and go back into the pause menu. We're going to go ahead and select the BTN desktop, clicked, and then off of that, all you have to do is quit. It will add the quit game, and that button is done. So you can go ahead, and it's a very simple button to do. That automatically just closes the game, and go ahead and comment it as desktop, or whatever you would like. And then the next button that we're going to do is the main menu. It's pretty simple. If you have a main menu already, you just do on clicked and then drag off of it and open level by name. So we're going to open level by name, and then make sure that your level name is the exact caps and everything spelt the same way as your level, otherwise it will not work. So like if I had one that said main menu level, that's all I have to do, and then it will open that level and you are good to go from there. And then that main menu should have its own functionality. Now say if I accidentally do S and then but it's really main menu or something like that, or I do a lowercase m, uppercase M when it's supposed to be uppercase M, lowercase m, or whatever, it just will not be able to work. It will error out and say level not found and all this other kind of stuff. So make sure it is spelled the same way. But once again, I don't have it, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight it, delete it, and compile and save. And then now we should be able to test it out here. And once we're paused, quit, desktop, it does close. So at this point, the pause menu is done. So doing a full test. So if you click continue, it will put you back in the game. You're good to go. Pause it again. Option saves don't work because we haven't done anything with it. But at that point, we are done. There you have it. We now have a pause menu. Like I said, if you want me to expand this menu, comment down below, like, subscribe, and until next time, happy creating.